Is homework checking time, and I'm here to help you out on your homework. We're hitting lesson number 5 in unit 5, and the first section here wants you to represent these subtractions with an addition equation. And there's two different ways to think about this. I'll explain both of them. When you have a subtraction problem, one thing that we talked about was you could ask yourself, what do I add to the second add-in to get the answer? That is one thing you could ask yourself. So you could think of, negative 9, the add-in that we know. I'm sorry, not negative 9, but 9. 9 plus 6 should give you your answer of A. So that's one way you could write this. 9 plus 6 is 15. So you can always just take your add-in, add it to your answer, and then that will give you what you're asking for here at the end. Another way that you could approach this is use our add the opposite rule. You could just do A plus negative 9 equals 6, but that's not going to give you what the answer is, but that is another way to write it. I'm probably going to go with the add-in way here, right? So this one would be 20 plus negative 30 equals the value of P, and so that would be negative 10, and that's true. This one right here would be negative 12 plus the answer 15 equals Z, so that would be true. And then negative 7, the add-in added to the answer, negative 10, would tell you what the value of X is. And so it's easier to solve these when you think of it as addition in the form of the answer added to the add-in that you know. And that it'll always work. You could always go this way too, but I'm more of a fan of writing it this way for these particular problems because that's what we talked about. For each one of these, find the difference, and if you get stuck, consider drawing a number line. I'm really going to stay away from the number line examples on these and just rewrite them all as addition versions, the ones that I need to. Like this first one, there's no need. It's 5. 9 minus 4, straight up. Right? This one right here is 4 minus 9. We talked about when you swap those around, you just get the opposite answer. For this particular one right here, probably not a bad idea to add the opposite. Add the opposite and get 9 plus 4, so you can get 13. Same thing here, add the opposite, but the first number doesn't change when you do it on this one. So adding the opposite here still has a little bit of work left to do. The signs are different, so I subtract. Negatives win by 5, so negative 5 for that one. Moving on to over here on E, negative 9 minus 4 is the same as negative 9 plus a negative 4. Therefore, the signs are the same. I add them and get negative 13. This one right here, whenever I change it to an addition version of itself, it becomes addition of positive 9. Just another way to write 4 plus 9, which is positive 13. This version of it here in G is going to become negative 4 plus a positive 9. And the positives win by 5 in this case, so that answer is 5. The signs were different, so I had to subtract. And then the last one, negative 4 plus negative 9. Signs are the same, so I add them together and I get negative 13. And that is problem number 1. And number 2, actually I got another minute. Let me go ahead and knock out number 3. Restaurant bill is $59. You pay $72. What percent gratuity did you pay? Well, the best way I can remember to do this is to think of what my bill was and what I paid as like a proportional relationship, 59, and then boosting up to 72. And I don't have my calculator pulled up for these lessons, but if you divide 72 by 59 to find the constant, you get 1.22 and some change. Okay, so it was 1.22 and then some other numbers, but roughly 22 past the whole, which tells me that I was about 22%, because 122% would be that over twice. So I gave about a 22% tip in that situation. And that's number 1, number 2, and number 3 on the first set.